check side from the boundary to win it.
Yeah, and I felt pretty good about it, Jay. We'd struggled to find the middle of the big sticks for most of the night after sort of dominating, in general play for all of it really. And the scoreboard didn't look great for us, but obviously that was a bit of individual brilliance that helped give us a little bit of wriggle room for the last couple of minutes.
What do you make of a performance like that, Bucks? Do you look at the positives? You get a lot of good things in general play, or do you sort of bemoan the poor kicking in front of goal and the inability to really round it home?
No, I think that the negatives of it, the lack of finish or connection up front, and even some of our contests down back in the second quarter to allow those scores. They're cream on the cake. The cake was really positive. The way that we set the ground up, our willingness inside, pressure on them, and our largely our ability to win the ball in scrimmage was really strong. Our ground ball and contested ball was back to where we want it. I thought we defended the ground really well for the most part. And we actually used it okay through the midfield. It's just that last kick, either at goal or to the player who can finish for us. So really positive. As I said, we largely were able to impose ourselves on the game and control the game for pretty much all of it. There was probably 10 minutes in that last quarter where the Swans were able to get the ball forward a little bit more often, but we totally controlled that and could have lost it in the end, and that wouldn't have been the way the game was played. But we do need to finish them, and that will come.
How much did those injuries hurt you, particularly late in the game as they started to add up?
Well, I mean, if you lose someone with 8 minutes to go, it hurts a lot less than when you lose someone with 88 minutes to go. So obviously losing Will early puts your rotation down and asks more of the 21 players that are up and about. When Ads went down with his hammy, we had a quarter and a bit to play, but we were able to shift our roles around it, and I think we were playing so efficiently in general play that we weren't exerting as much energy as we would have in the last couple of weeks when we were out of shape and not quite playing the way that we wanted to play. So, our players had to work, and you have to work in this caper, but and in the game tonight. But I thought for the most part we were really efficient.
Nathan, how bad is Trelaw's hamstring, and can you give us an update on young Isaac and Will? It's a leg problem, I believe, with him.
Yeah, well, Ads is at this stage is a minor hammy, but that's obviously you'd be looking at 3 weeks for that, and that could be 12 games. Who knows with the compressed fixtures? So he'll miss some footy. Isaac actually tackled a kid who we think his studs sort of raked across his shin and actually split his shin. 6-8 inches, completely open. So that was bad luck. The kid could have had metal studs in as well. So that was his bad luck. Tackling the only kid that had that. But that will be a couple of weeks. It'll depend on how you can clean the wound and heal that up. And Will was studs and bruised bone bruising in the knee. And that was pretty much the first contest he was in.
Sorry, Bucks. How much do you put down the Trelaw hamstring? It's obviously a big topic for the competition at the moment due to the short break, the quick turnaround, and then the flight from Perth. Were there any warnings there, or
look,
be linked?
Whatever I answer this, even if I say a little, well, then it has a contribution, doesn't it? I think everything goes into the mix, Jay. We're actually really, plan to really aggressively rotate our players. we made changes into the Fremantle game for that reason, and it didn't come to fruition for us from win-loss. We probably made as fewer changes as we'd planned to in 4 going into this week. And Ads was one that we would have looked after next week. And we really do want to share the load, but we have played off 4-day breaks before, but not multiple times. But I've got no doubt that that you will see situations like this. I mean, we know that there's extra demands on players and on clubs that are not there, that haven't been there in the past. So it's part of what you're going to find yourself, the situation you're going to find yourself in, and but it's up to each club to manage their personnel and their programs to buffer that and find the best out of it, and we'll continue to do that.
You likely
coming up.
Sorry, Mark. Are you likely to get any trips back for Adelaide? Have you got guys coming off injury for that to bolster your side?
We had quite a few that had a short match scrimmage against Sydney this morning. And we've got we still have plenty of troops there that have been exposed to senior football this year and that have the capacity to come in and impact for us, and even some that haven't. We introduced Mark Keane last week and he had a taste of it, so that's going to be great for his development. Trey Rusco tonight. We rested Maney and we continue to rotate and believe that we've got a squad that can come in and play that type of football. If we play in that sort of shape, then we can really plug and play, and clearly that's our challenge is to keep coming up with a style of football that is can be replicated, even with changes that we're going to have to find over the next couple of weeks.
Bucks, you mentioned the compressed fixture a little bit earlier, and obviously a lot of games in the last sort of little period, but are you going to put any feedback in about hopefully getting a little bit of a break, a bit of a breather after that sort of round 13 that's been unveiled today?
No, not as such. We're up for anything. We're ready to do whatever it takes. We've had that attitude through the first isolation lockdown period and understanding that the season is going to have twists and turns that you need to be able to handle. One of those primarily is being able to handle your downturns in a season, and we had a couple of losses in round 5 and 6, I believe, 4 and 5, I think, and then again in the last 2 rounds. So we've lowered our colours in a couple of patches through the year, but our challenge is to be as positive as we possibly can and to keep looking for our best. And whatever the draw throws at us, whatever the twists and turns that are in front of us are, we're more than confident that we have the group and the connection that can put our best foot forward as we go ahead.
Just about Isaac Planer's ankle.
Yeah.
So was that the studs of the opposition player which has cut him 6 to 8 inches, mate?
Yeah, we believe that that's happened. But I mean,
Right.
So some of our boys were talking about whether what type of studs they were, but in the end, it's just bad luck.
Okay.
I haven't heard of that happening in all my time in footy. I'm pretty sure studs pierce the skin periodically, and even Will had an element of that in his knee injury in the first quarter. But you'd never see what happened to Isaac in that last quarter ever. So it's really unfortunate for him, and we don't know exactly. It's because you don't see it very often. We don't know exactly where that'll settle, but he was pretty calm for what he endured. But we'll see. We'll look after him and get him right.
And you're not allowed to wear metal studs, are you?
I don't believe so, but
Is that the clear?
yeah, I don't believe so. Look, in the end, we don't get them checked.
Yeah.
But it's not under it's not under 12s where the umpire comes and checks all your studs before you play, but we'll see how we go. Cheers.
All the best, mate.